Today we're going to be using Happy Mail and Junk Mail to make embellishments for our March Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge. We are busting our stash. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi everybody, it's Julie. Let's go ahead and start. We are going to be using Happy Mail. This is our H for Stashbuster, Happy Mail or Mail. And so I have some Happy Mail. And then I have some other pieces that came in the mail. And so let's go ahead and get started with our Happy Mail. So these are from Spectrum Art Creations. And sometimes these come in the boxes that I get from them. And so I thought that these would be fun to go ahead and to use. And because it's floral, I think I can go ahead and just collage on some of this. And so let's see what we can do here. I also have this little piece that that came from them, and so I'm so excited. This is going to be a lot of fun here. So I want to make sure, I want to keep the flower, I want to keep this right here, but I think sorry Madison, I'm going to cover up some of it, okay? And so let's go ahead and pinch off here. So I'm going to collage, but I'm going to be leaving some of the background pieces and things. Like I said, I want to leave this, I want to leave this. I can do some things over the top of this, like maybe just adding the washi, and I can do the same thing to both. Okay, so a little bit of mask making here, and so you know when I put one of those stamp washi down, I'm gonna want to stamp on it. Okay, so we'll just mark both of those with my cancellation stamp. That was easy. Okay, so back to this here. Okay, so here I do have the Gloxinia, and I think we can go ahead and bring that in, maybe rip this side. Okay. This is from the mini ephemera page of the Assorted Floral digital kit from DearJulieJulie. Okay, so we'll go like that and add that. Oh, I think we'll just go ahead and do it. Okay, so I'm going to put my glue on here. Okay, and all the way up to the edge. Okay, I want this to go up to the flower. Okay, and then on this one we'll add our glue. I need to check where we are on the camera because I'm back on my old phone, because today's video is going to take an hour just to upload, then processing. It's been weird lately. Okay, so I think this is really cool. We can go ahead and cut that off down there. And so I do have another one of these that I have in my address area. So okay, so there's that side. I think that and I'll do the same thing on this one. And so let's turn this over. Now I like the whole thing, but I really like this, and I think we can keep part of this. Let's see. There we go. Again, ripping gives you a chance to... Okay, we need to... Yeah, there we go. Okay. And you could just stick this little card in just as it is. But okay, so remember that your mail is the base of what we're doing this time. Okay, let's go ahead. Pull that off. You can use the map. So I have a bunch of things around me that I'm using this time. And you know, I do like to use my scraps. So this is scrap. Okay. I like this, but it just really doesn't go with what I have going on this time. I think we'll add that. I do have a journal that I'm going to be making that these cards would go really well in. So hopefully I can find a couple more of them in my stash now that I think about it, because I wanted to make those for the market. I hope I get enough things put together. You know, life happens, and now that we here in Los Angeles County are finally able to go out and do stuff, you know, it's like all of the organizations that we do stuff for are having starting to have in-person meetings. And of course, you know, that's great, but now we have almost, well, some of our gas stations are $6. So, $6 a gallon. I just can't even believe that. Okay. I have that. I should have put it in there before. Oh, there. I can put it under. Okay. I can put it under there. Okay, so Happy Mail is a base, and I'll be doing the same thing on the other one. That'll give me two of these cards that I can add into my journal. Okay, so there we go. I think that is really fun, using something that we have that, oh, do you see what I just did? I just decorated that side of that one. So I'll have to finish up this little area. Let's see, we have the mountain map. Okay, let's clean that up. Okay, so we can go there, come over, and I want the flower. I'm going to rip around the flower. Okay. I think that's good. We'll put that down. So we at least have one of these that's finished. So I'm used to being a person that can crazily, might not be a word, might be a DearJulieJulie word, that can multitask like crazily. Like I can multitask. Since the you-know-what and the pneumonia, yeah, not so much. Like, not hardly at all. Messed up my brain. So, relearning that has been interesting. So, luckily, nothing horrible or anything has happened, but I have found that I have to do one thing at a time and pay attention to what I'm doing. And that is a new, that's new for me. So my cousin is opening a yarn store in Orchid, California, called, I think it's the Old Orchid Yarnery. And the grand opening is Saturday and Sunday. And so if you are near Orchid, which is by Santa Maria, go and check it out and tell Lisa that Julie sent you. Dear Julie, Julie sent you. And yeah, I would love to get to go. It doesn't look like it at this time, but so there we go. We have changed a postcard that came in the mail. Okay. And we've got 2 of those that we'll be able to use. I love them. I love them. So now I also have this. This came in with one of the pieces, and or it came in one of my packages. Came in the mail, and okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remember this. We stamped on this paper to change it and make it usable for this particular challenge that we're doing. I'm just going to go ahead and add some this inside, covering up the words. Okay. We're going to do this one real quick, and then we're going to, I have like a little fake credit card that came in the mail to do something with, and a couple of other things. So yeah, and at the end of the video today, we'll have some more looking at the digital kits, because the digital kits are all on sale in the Dear Julie Julie Etsy shop. And I wanted to give you a chance to see what's in as many of the digital kits as I can while the March on sale is going on. So there's that. Oh, I should have put the daffodil on there. Darn, that would have been cute. Okay, well, we have this bloom. You know, I'm thinking that this can go in a double tuck, so it probably will go in this configuration. And this is a tag from my flowers that I bought last year for the grand room. And I think this year they're going to get put in my living room for spring and then move into the grand room for summer. But you've seen me, I've been using them, and they say bloom, and then underneath it says room, and the color is great, and I saved all of them. I saved all of the tags because I was like, oh, they say bloom. Perfect. So if you are looking to be a little more using other stuff, I love to use stuff from around the house in my journals, along with, you know, new stuff too. But I do a lot of, I can't get that to move. It wasn't straight. Okay, I think we got it. I think we fixed it. Okay, so there's that. And I'm thinking some flowers. And I did find another set of stickers. Oh, the iris would look cool. It would have looked cooler if I would have put that over a little further. How about... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change the white here on my sticker. I need an underpiece. Okay. I just don't want it to be so stark white. So I'm going to use the Picked Raspberry Distress ink, because that's what I'm using in this journal. Could put the butterfly. Actually, the butterfly would be really cute. Let's go ahead. I think we'll do the butterfly. You can change our mind, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, it's clear. It's clear. I did not know. It's a clear sticker. Oh, I like that. Okay. I think I want something else on here. So this is from the Bases digital kit. And I showed that kit yesterday, and it's the one that has the maps. It has a map of Nova Scotia and a map of Quebec from the 1907, I think, or 1911. I haven't looked at my paperwork on it in a while. You know what? Okay, we'll go inside here. So with collaging, you want your pieces to touch, okay? To kind of, and that's how you get a great look for collage. You know what? We can use this flower also. Oh, I probably should have put it over there. But there you go. So that gives me a little card to go, and you can journal on the back. And this can go in the, like on a double tuck. Okay? So that was fun using Happy Mail. And now we're going to use some just mail. Okay? So let's start with, I told you that, you know how you get the little, it's not an actual credit card, it's just the piece, but it's a really nice weight, okay? A really, really nice weight. And so this can be my base, and then we're going to need to add to this. And so, you know, I do have, okay, that's kind of thick. Okay, I think this one. Okay, so this is from the Birds in Blue digital kit. Okay, well, yep, I cut it short, too short, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Okay, we're going to put it on here. So mixing digitals, you can do that. And remember, in the Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge, the March Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge, you are to use Dear Julie digitals. You can use a variety of them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this down so we don't see the lines through it. If it happens to change the color of my digital, it'll change it all the way on all around. Okay, so there we go. Just putting that down. Okay. And then we can just go around and cut it off. So do you like to use things that came in the mail in your journals? Now, I'm going to go ahead and piece this on here. I am going to put something over the top, but should it show through, by piecing it on here. Okay, so just putting the piece down. It lifts it, it'll be the same level. So if I put something down, it won't fall down like at the crease or whatever. So just by filling that in, because I started to take it off and it did not want to come off. So I was like, okay, you don't want to come off, so you don't have to. You win. Okay. You know what do we got? We got poppies. Okay, so it goes in this direction. So, okay, so I have that. Should probably put something else under it. How about, yeah, we'll put a piece of the napkin. Ooh, or this. We've got this piece. Yeah, we'll put that. Okay, so this came from the one that we just tore up. I'm going to put this piece down at the bottom because it's bigger. And cut it here. And we'll put that piece the rest of the way up. So that covers up my mistake. Okay. This card feels so nice. Well, Chip is in here. Okay, then I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to let it hang off because I still want to cover this. Okay, and then I have a little place down here that I also apparently messed up. So what if we take just a little piece of doily. I don't have any more pieces of doily that are already. Okay, and then we'll put that down. Oops, we have more than one doily. Okay, so whoop. It moved. Okay, so that's my card, and I do want to go ahead and add something that I could write on the back. I do have this other another bird. Okay. I'm going to do this again. Go around it. Go ahead and put my glue especially to the edge. But then remembering that by doing this, it's going to dry much faster. Okay. Okay, come up here, put our bird down. Okay, I'm going to pull this forward because I don't want to accidentally cut that. So we get to fix some mistakes here. But this is one of those cardboard credit card things that come in the mail. And they make a great base for there. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Love it. Okay. So that gives us another card, like for a double tuck. Could go ahead and I don't know if there's any ink on here. Nope. So it dries up pretty fast. Oh, I hear somebody. It's the puppy. The very big puppy. Okay. So there. Okay, so there's my little credit card covered. And that can go in there. That's also made out of mail. Put things where they go so that I can find them, right? Okay. Put that in the front, put that in the back. And let's see, what are we going to do next? We have a sunset postcard. So on the back, I'm going to want to cover this with something so that we'll be able to write on it. And I know I have this. Okay, and we could go ahead and go with that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go around it. There we go. And we're going to put this, I'm going to try and at least get the side straight so that my lines will be straight. Okay, so that'll give me backing. Could just fold this over and have it backing on, but oh, I like that better. But that's okay. We'll have that one for another one. So turn your paper over before you commit. Might like what's on the other side better. So boy, this revisiting the digitals has been interesting for me. It's like, oh, I want to make something out of that. Oh, I want to make something. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. So I have that. So remember, this is our base. And then we can come in with whatever we've got, whatever we want to. Oh, wow. This is from the collaging, some collaging I did the other day. So I really like the map. I think the pink map will be fun in here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the pink map. I'm going to want something under that. Ooh, how about some of this? Maybe at the top. And then we have this, the street index we've been using. I kind of want to keep this, okay? Maybe put one of the stamps here. And I like okay, so we'll just and there's that. Okay, this could go over the top. This doesn't really, it's not enough. I had these pieces so that I can do like a snippet. Okay, like that. This is from a thread. I should save that. I think we'll use maybe the bloom. I think we'll do that. Okay. I think we'll do that. Okay, so I was planning to save some of this. You could collage, we've already done a collage where you saved some of the piece. So you saw that already. Okay, so this is one of the pieces that, it was a strip that we had left from something. So, I mean, we do envelopes a lot, so I thought that it might be interesting to do something other than an envelope for our so using some of the other things that come in the mail. Let's put that, let it dry. Okay, and then we have this, and I can put, they're the same on both sides. I mean, the picture's not the same, but the lines, those blue lines are in the same place on both sides. So, okay, let's go ahead. We'll just use my light behind it, I can probably get it pretty close to being on. Lined up. I hope. I said pretty close, right? Okay, so there's that. There's bubbles. We'll push them out. Okay. Tie that up a little bit. Okay, then we've got our blue piece. Okay, so this is from the Birds in Blue Digital. It's one of the large receipts. This is from the map. It's a Thomas guide. My brother-in-law gave me 5 Thomas guides. A couple of them are pretty old. So, pretty excited about that. So you'll see me using maps a whole lot, probably. I love them because Thomas guides have a variety of colors in them. They'll have some pages that are all blue where that just barely has coast on it, or a very small island sometimes. They will have, put that up there. They will have, where the cities are all different colors, and they'll be blue and purple or lavender and pink and yellow. All different colors. It's so cool. Okay, so I think I want to, before I go on, I want to round the corners on this. So this is the We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder. That gives you 3 different sizes. My favorite is the 7 millimeters here. And while we're at it, I would go ahead and to change this, I would go ahead and round the corners on this as well. Just looks nice. Okay, so for this, I like this because we do need at least a couple of cards that come in from the side like that. Let's see, I think we'll go with, we have an olive branch here on this washi tape. Again, the washi tape is from Spectrum Art Creations. This has the word sunshine along with the branch. This isn't the olive one, but I don't know what it is. And these other things on the washi with it usually have nothing to do with what the big branch is. As a matter of fact, one of the roses says Daisy. Okay. I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Now, I do have these are all the real little ones. Okay, so that's not gonna be what I want. Could go ahead and bring in some of our we are using, well, you saw, we just used doily. Okay, so we go ahead and cut our doily across. Okay, and add glue to our doily. It will help it stay down. Okay, I want most of my doily on this side, and by going over like that, you can make sure that the edge is all covered. Then I want to make sure that this goes all the way up to the top. Okay, so pressing it up to the top, and then I'm going to pull this over, and that'll give us a little bit of embellishment on this side. This glue usually cleans up really well, so you can just go along like that. And we'll go ahead and around the corner, and I want something up here. I wonder if we can get this off. Sometimes we can, sometimes you can't. Okay. We use the blue bicycle on the sticker page. Use a little red bicycle here. Okay, I like that. And I want something from the Assorted Floral Digital. Aha, there. One of these. Maybe that one. Okay, so this was my computer or my printer picked it up late, which it does a lot of the time. Okay, so we have red, and now we have this red. Okay, and I think this can come down off the top. Oh, I think I want it over further. Yeah. Go off the top a little, because then I can cut it. That was cleaning off the edge. Then we'll go ahead and pull this off its backing. And we can put that down. Okay, I think that's a lot of fun. We are backed for journaling, and then we might have to come back in and tell it who's boss. Okay, and let's see, I think we want one more red thing, or yeah, we're going to put that down here at the bottom. Need the triangle effect going on here. My eyes are going, I don't know where to look. Tell me where to look. Oh, I'm supposed to look there. I'm supposed to look there. I'm supposed to look there. Okay. Now I know what I'm supposed to do. Okay. So right up to the edge. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Triangle. Couple of the things that if you look at your page and it, I don't know how to explain, it's like makes you confused or something. Is that the word? Try making sure you have, especially on your dominant color like that pops out, that you have 3 places. The other thing that you can do that will help is adding something black to your page, and so we can go ahead and that will also help. And the adding something black gives your eyes something to focus on. So I always remember being told to think of looking at somebody's eye, and if it didn't have a pupil, okay, that how confusing that would be. So that gives you something to look at. So there we have collaged on top of one of those little the postcards. That come like in a magazine or something for subscriptions. And although it has not been mailed, it is meant to be mail, right? So there, I had a place that was opening. Okay, might as well fix it now while I notice it. Got glue on my fingers. Okay. Okie dokie. How many years have we been on here? Okay, so yeah, so we have that one. Now we can go ahead and add one of our antique ribbon techniques. We've been using the lace from Dollar Tree. Okay, and so I go with the full length and half and cut that off. Okay, and then we go with we're going to go ahead and punch 2 holes. And so we'll punch, let's see what's on the other side, make sure that we're not punching through somebody's face or something. So we're going to punch 2 holes. Okay. And then we'll take our lace, and you can use ribbon, and if you can put your lace or ribbon through a needle, it makes it so much easier. Okay. And Okay, so this first one, we're going to go ahead, put it in, and pull it so that it's right at the edge. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to leave a loop around here. Okay, leave that. We're going to go ahead and bring our lace or ribbon through the hole. This is my favorite of the antique ribbon techniques because it's easy, it looks nice, and it's not gonna come off. Oh, come on. It's not gonna go in either. Okay, so pull that to the side so that you make enough room for it to go through. There you go. That just helps so much. Okay, so we've got that in. We've pulled this over to the edge. We've got our extra piece here. Now we're going to pull this through. Okay, so we pulled our loop through now. Pulled this through. And now we're going to pull our lace back through the other side. Okay, so putting it through. So I had picked up a set, a bag of antique and vintage cards, and they used these I call them ribbon techniques, in a lot of the cards. And so I did a video showing you several different ones, and it is in the description box down below. This one I call the tie. Okay, so that's what you get. We'll go ahead and give that one more fresh cut. And so that's what we have there. And this will go in probably from the side here. Might be kind of fun to go ahead and sew around this as well. And so that gives me that card. And then for another one, remember we just did the strip envelope. So this one is open. I'm going to go ahead and close it. I'm going to just show you something really, really quick here. Okay. Okay, so this is a large windowed envelope. Okay, see we have our envelope. This opens up here. And I am going to take you could use a Project Life card. I'm going to use one of I'm going to get a Project Life card. Oh, wow, I'd be able to use that one in this journal. Okay, so it is a little thicker than that. So let's go with the Tim Holtz card. Okay, Tim Holtz card. And let's measure it so we can tell you how big or little it is. Okay. We are 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. So 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and take this and find us a piece of, ooh, will this go on? This is the other piece of that napkin. It would fit on there, but I think we'll save that for something else. Okay, so had to answer the door, put the dogs out, all that. So I have my envelope. Remember, I chose this as out of a 6x6 book because the colors match what I'm doing in here. I don't need the typewriter, so I'm going to take the typewriter and I'm going to put it in my little box over here, but I'm going to keep the bicycle. Okay, so I'll keep the bicycle, and I'm going to use that to cover my envelope. Well, I don't want to cover the whole envelope this time. I actually do want to cut out a window. And so what I decided was I would go ahead and I'm going to take this right here. I want to make sure, let's see, if we go here, like here, we should be in the envelope. Okay, and then I'm going to line it up on these dots. Okay, now I'm going to, got it there. I'm going to bring it over here. We're a little bit too far, so let's try here. Okay, so do you see what I'm doing? I'm measuring. I thought I actually have a punch, but it would be just this little tiny, it would only cut it out tiny. So I decided I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go around this. Okay. There we go. I dropped something. Okay, so now I'm going to look at this, and I have some flowers down here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another one of the branches of flowers. And should I, let's see, I don't want the cactus. So from the washi I've been using, I think we'll do the yellow. Okay, so we'll go with the yellow roses. You don't need the words about wine for this particular project. Okay. And if we took this and put this so that it would come over here, okay, I have to decide where I'm going to put it because of the next part. Sometimes you have to think ahead about what you're doing to be able to have a better final product. Okay, or project. Okay, so there, I'm going to go with that. Okay, and I'm going to come in from this side because I think, well, it actually kind of looks cool over here. But I don't get all the way to the side. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to figure I'm going to come in right in the middle of that rose. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in. Okay. And then I'm going to cut around. I was thinking about ripping it, but I think that I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Okay. So I'm trying to stay to the outside of this black line, but it'll be okay if we end up with black line because we have another little process that I'm going to do that will help with that. Okay, if you have a punch or a die, right now I can't get to my die cutting machine and my dies. I'm going through boxes of stuff, and right now the boxes and files from my mom and dad's house are sitting right in front of it, and they're very heavy, and so I'm not using those right now. So let's go ahead and, you know, since we are paper this time. Let's use the Dollar Tree gold pen, okay? So we're going to use the Dollar Tree gold pen, and we're just going to go ahead, go around it. We've added the gold. Okay, it is melting down inside my thing. Maybe a second. Yeah, so we'll go around it twice. So anyway, we're giving the gold treatment. We did that on some of the napkins. I don't think you've seen that video yet. It's my extra video that I made, and it is for in case I need a video. You will get to see it sometime this month. Okay, so there we have added the gold. And now we can go ahead and put this on top of the journal. Now I'm going to shock y'all because I am going to pull out my distress ink. I've been using the tea dye. I'm not super impressed with it, but I already have the brush for it is out. It was. There it is. Okay. So. Okay. And I just want to go around the edge. And actually, we could go ahead and do this. Because you're barely going to see it. But this time I'm going to make this a traveling pocket. And so you can see the edge. Okay, so there. Now we'll go ahead. We're going to add our glue. So there you go. So don't forget, the digitals are on sale through March 15th in the Dear Julie Julie Etsy shop, and for 50% off. And if you are a Diamond or Emerald Patreon, your coupon code is in the Patreon for your 70% off any digitals in the Dear Julie Julie Etsy shop. And when I went looking for the Easter digitals, I found we had 7 digitals that were had timed out. So I reactivated those. There are 115 digitals in the Dear Julie Julie Etsy shop. We're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we have added that to our pocket. Now it's just going to be so much better if we go ahead and add our little piece from the circle punch. It just makes it so much easier to put things in there. Okay, so this is our base. We added this, that's 1. We added the gold pen, that's 2. And we're going to add this right here, and that will be 3 things that we've added. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and let this wrap around. Okay, so I'm going to add that here. And I'm going to let this wrap around. Oops, but I didn't put my backing on here yet. I have this piece that we had left over. And so let's go ahead and we'll put this on. going to put it in this direction. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put our glue on here because it's more stable and easier to move our fingers and hands around. Okay. We're going to go out to the edges. So we're trying to get our edges to stick down, especially those corners. Okay, we'll put this on. We're gonna come over, have it go right up to the edge, all the way around. And this was the piece that was left over after the other one that I did. Okay, remember, I'm trying to use up all my scraps. Trying not to even have them go into a scrap box, not even into the kit box if I can. If I can use them right away, that's going to be great. Okay, so this little piece, we're going to go ahead and pull this over, and it just becomes part of the back. Love it. Okay, and then I have this area down here, and I'm going to want to add something here. So probably just a strip from the strips of paper box. Okay. And again, we'll put a line on the top part and a line there. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll lay this in here and then pick it up and move it over so that there's at least a little bit of glue on the very edge that I can go ahead and then put down. Okay. So there's that and that. There's a little piece of this there. Okay, so this is using a privacy envelope, and we've just covered it up. We've gone ahead and I showed you a way that you can easily open up the window. Okay, I think the one other thing I want to do is we're going to add the gold around up here. Okay, so we'll go all the way across and then back so we get the shiny gold around. So this is one of the gold pins from Dollar Tree today. So Crafter Square metallic marker. Okay, and that gives me that, and I love the way this looks. Of course, we can come in and add some of the other things that we've been adding, but I like this because we haven't really added any bulk to it except for the cardstock that we added to the front, and that gives us another embellishment. And this is what we've got this time. So we have our little credit card insert from the mail, and we have added a washi tape here. First we put the digital piece down, added a piece of scrap here, the washi here, we canceled it and added a little piece of doily. On the back we've added some more of the digital, and you can still write on this. So that is that. Then we have the little insert from the Happy Mail, and I went ahead and collaged over the top of it. I used a piece of the stamped paper, the bloom tag, a couple of stickers, and a map scrap. Okay, for these, we went ahead and added the washi and the cancellation, some of the map, and one of the stamp images from the assorted floral digital. These were from Spectrum Art Creations. And then we went ahead, and this is how it started, and I collaged the back. So I added this and the map and the doily and this here and this here. And you can write something there. You could add a picture over this. That would be awesome. And then you can write on the back. So that is that. I think we'll do like this and this, okay, for our look. Okay, then we took the Sunset Magazine subscription card and added, okay, now this is mail because it's something that could be sent out in the mail. Okay, same with these could be sent out in the mail. They came in Happy Mail though, so that's how they got there. So I collaged on the back, added the bike sticker, added the washi, added the stamp here. There's a doily underneath there, some scrapbook paper here, a piece from one of the scraps down here, and we used the lace and did the tie here. We can do the sunshine because we've done the gold in the journal in other places, and there is journaling space on the back here with the doily coming over to the side as well. Okay. Also, and I'm really excited to have these for the double tucks. Some of the double tucks end up a little small and you need smaller cards to put in them. So I think that those will be great. This is the privacy envelope, and we went ahead and we covered it. It was cut. I cut a few of them the other day to get the address off that was up here, and so I cut them off. And so for this one, we use it's part of a 6x6 paper pad. I showed you how I cut out the window using a cut through right here, and then I was able to make a nice clean cut on the inside there. Another way you can do it is like pop a circle in it and then cut around it. But this way, I also have a card that I'm going to be able to use in the journal. And then I have the little bicycle piece. And since we have bicycles in a couple other places, I think we can go ahead and use that in here as well. Added some washi tape over here and then went around this with the gold pin, and up here I also just stressed the edge. And so I've added at least my 3 items to the base, which is the envelope, the privacy envelope from the mail. And so I really like that. I think my favorite, I don't know. I really like the way this turned out. I really, really like the way that turned out. This feels amazing. This card right here, just, you know, sometimes if you're tactile and you like the way things feel, this feels amazing. And I love the way and how easy this was to make. So that is my embellishment ideas for H, Happy Mail or mail. Okay, so things that would be in the mail. There you go. Now we're going to take a look at some digitals, since the digitals are on sale for 50% off. And here's our digitals for today. So we have the Spring Blossom Kit. This was one of the first digitals that I made. It went with the Spring Blossom Physical Kit, which was a full kit. We were able to make 3 or more journals out of it. And it has a full series of videos. I believe there's like 36 videos of everything about making those journals. Okay, and this is the kit. So it was based on this set of 4 postcards. You get the full sheet, and then you get, in a PDF, you get this sheet as 2 5x7s, as 4 like 3x5 postcard size, and another little tiny ones too. So, and they're really fun to use and great for spring. This one's a lot of fun to put on right onto an envelope. And so you get that. And then you also get a, one of the files has these 4 in full-size sheets, okay? So this is, I took the 4 full-size sheets and I printed them. And so you get the embroidered basket, the embroidered heart, and the embroidered decoration in full size, as well as this edge. This has been a lot of fun to go ahead and cut around or rip, actually ripping around it works better, and making it the side of a page. And again, you can take 2 of these and put them side by side and have pages. I did a video where I showed you how to make pages out of this. So like one of them, we did 3 wallets and they came out up here, and then we took them and folded them like this, and it gave us a pocket page. So that is the Spring Blossom Kit. And so that, again, that was one of my first ones, but it's really, really reasonably priced, and especially at 50% off. And the pages, the breakdowns on those pages are already made for you. The next one I have to show you, again, one of the first ones was Victorian and Edwardian ladies. And you get these original postcard pictures, okay? So you get that one. She's got the butterflies, the flowers. Then you get this one. These are as they were in the postcard book. So in Loretta's postcard book. And this one had a flap going across. So when I've used this one, I've decorated up, okay? But all my stuff is the original, I don't go in and change it, okay? And then you also get these 4. They have been a lot of fun. You also see her, she's in Courting Lady Jane. And I used her on a couple of graduation gifts. So there's that. And you get the backs of 4 postcards. Okay, so I think that that's really a lot of fun. You get the plain one and 3 that have been written on, and they're all different. Okay, so that one is Victorian and Edwardian ladies. And again, that one is very reasonably priced, especially at 50% off. So I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and where we have taken mail or things that could be mailed, and we have made embellishments that we can use in our journals. This was for the March Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge here on the Dear Julie Julie channel. If you want more information about that, just go ahead and check out the description box. And we also have the video down there, how to do the antique ribbon techniques. Find something to celebrate every day. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.